What's up, everybody? ZachandTyra here.
Woo.
Checking in with our new weekly feature. We're going to start doing a Netflix show of the week.
We watch a lot of Netflix like every week, and I binge watch a lot.
So we really enjoy streaming shows, movies. So we thought it would be really cool to get everybody involved with this. What we would really like to do is turn it into almost a live stream segment every week. Sunday night would be a good night to do that, I think. Everybody's kind of at home, not a lot of people working, so we'd be able to all jump on together and kind of recap a show. In April, many of you probably know what's coming out in April, Tyra.
What? Oh, Game of Thrones.
Game of
Yes!
Thrones. So I think that'd be really cool if we could all get on, the whole community gets on, we do a live stream, do a live chat, kind of discuss the episodes as they come up, because this season is going to be intense. All right, note guys, with this series that we're doing, we will be doing spoilers. So if you are somebody that hasn't watched the show, you want to come back and watch it later, sweet. Just know that we're going to be saying stuff that happens during the show, and you can come back and watch us later. Anyways, so this week we decided we're going to talk about, on Netflix, the Ted Bundy tapes.
Yeah.
That was it's a docu-series. It's 4 episodes about Ted Bundy. And I had heard the name Ted Bundy.
Yeah, I heard of it and I didn't know like the backstory about him. I just know he killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I watched it by myself because he was away in New Mexico and I was pretty scared. I had to like clean and watch it at the same time so I won't watch the whole thing. Because every time I watched it I would like get scared. There were several times I had to pause it because I had to look out to see if anybody was here. Like it freaked me out, like the things that he did. So
this is interesting because Tyra started it before me, as she said, and it kind of intrigued me the way she described it as very scary. So I downloaded it to watch on the plane ride home, and I can see for any females that watch this, it's very, very scary.
Scary and creepy, like, especially if you're by yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how many females that he just, as a good-looking young guy, he just was able to sweet-talk his way. Mm-hmm. And what I found most interesting about the series was this happened in the 70s, going into the 80s, and the kind of technology that we have today, there's no way he would have been able to get away with this stuff that he did.
Definitely. And the fact that he escaped like twice, that kind of irritated me. Like, really? Like, you don't have security in this guy and he did all this like killing with women and then he goes and kills again. It's like, oh my god, that made me so mad.
I think now nothing was funny about the series, obviously a very serious topic, but it was kind of comical how he wanted to escape out of jail, and to prepare himself for that, he would go up to this top bunk and jump off, and repeatedly jump off to strengthen his legs, to be able to brace himself when he jumps out of the jail. And sure enough, his first attempt, that's exactly what he did. Mm-hmm. He jumped out of the bathroom, if I remember correctly, and kind of braced his impact, and he had his plan set out. And this guy is just, he was just a mastermind. I mean, there's a reason that he kind of coined the whole idea of a serial killer, is his mind just functioned differently.
And it's crazy, like they didn't have any handcuffs on him when he went to the restroom, or no like handcuffs on his feet, nothing. And nobody was inside the restroom to watch him. It was just, oh yeah, go to the restroom. And they're like, okay, and eat. Like, really?
And the lawyer, what would the lawyer say? He was like, oh, it's not my turn to watch Ted Bundy.
Yeah, like, really? Why are you thinking like that? Easy.
Well, and that's what's interesting. The first time he escapes is he steals a car, and he kind of runs off, but he doesn't really have a great plan. No. He doesn't eat. He loses like 25, 30 pounds.
Yeah, he loses a lot of weight. And he doesn't look the same, so they can't really identify him, and yeah, and so it was just a lucky happenstance that they found him, and they arrested him again. So the second time when he escapes, it's in Aspen, Colorado, and then he catches a flight from Denver, and he ends up making his way down to Florida, and he commits all these murders at the Chi Omega sorority house there at Florida State. Yeah, and some kind of
again, happenstance arrested by a cop, and it's for like, you know, vehicle burglary or some like pettier crime, obviously not a murder, and he will not identify himself. And like I said, the ability that we have today of technology to run DNA, to run fingerprints, to run all this stuff through databases, they just didn't have that manpower back then. And it was crazy to watch them sitting there, and he's not identifying himself, and they can't realize that they have this guy that is wanted in like 5 other states. It was just, that's what I found most interesting about the whole thing is he wouldn't have been able to do what he did if it was done in the 2000s, just from sheer technology. So as far as the series itself goes, I thought it was put very well. Essentially what it is it's Ted Bundy who's talking to a journalist who he requested that he talk to him so he can tell his story. Yeah, but he didn't want to like tell his story like by his own eyes, like, you know, like I did it. Like he didn't want to like confess to his story. So what the author or the journalist did was told him to talk in the third person. So that's what he did, and so he got really like excited that he could talk in this third person and just started telling all of his stories. That's what's interesting too, is you talk about serial killers and the thought of, well, is it something mentally wrong with them? And like she said, once he was able to talk to him about himself in the third person, he just turned. Yeah, he got all creeped out, like started hugging he like grabbed the video or the recorder, the tape recorder, and started like hugging it and just like cradling it, which was like crazy. Since he was so charismatic, he's a lawyer, he decided to make it very difficult on his defense team when he was standing trial. He wanted to be involved with the whole case. He felt like he knew more. In fact, there was a scene where they show his defense attorney that shows a really powerful, I think it was a cross-examination of the prosecution's witness, and he did a great job, and Bundy comes and basically wants to fire him on the spot, and they're in the courtroom. Oh, yeah. And the defense attorney was like, screw you, like I'm leaving then. And I think that in and of itself hurt him. I mean, his defense attorney was doing a really strong job of trying to help him out. And he just wanted nothing to do with it. So, you know, at the end, it almost seemed like he thought he was better than everybody else, and that's what ended up being his downfall. It was a great story. Very, very sad. You know, there's still families that haven't found their daughters. There's still, you know, parents that are wondering where their daughters are, and that whole thing is so sad. So all in all, the show itself was very entertaining. I think we both learned a lot from it. Enjoyed it thoroughly. And I would highly recommend it for anybody that enjoys those informative docuseries. Right, Tyra? What do you think? Don't know who he is, like, definitely watch this. Makes you want to be more, like, safe as a woman. People just eat, like, online dating. You just, you know, oh, he likes me. Okay, we're going to set up a date right now. And then just go and then you talk to that person. Like, the key, and I think what Tyra's trying to say, is people don't do enough I guess research to make sure that it's safe. So you've got to be careful. You've got to know somebody that knows where you're going, has an idea of who you're meeting up with. I think everybody knows that this world is not as safe as we want it to be. So that being said, highly recommend the series. I think it's very entertaining. It's good to learn from. And it can be scary, so I would not watch it alone if you're a female. Don't watch it alone. If you're alone in the house. So next week we're going to pick a show called You, Y-O-U, and it is a series. I don't know how many episodes there are, but it is a series, so there's several episodes. So your homework for the week is to watch You, so that next week when we talk about it and bring our video up, you'll have an idea of what we're talking about. So we're looking forward to kind of recapping that. And so next week, make sure that you are prepared for that. Make sure that you like the video. You comment below what you thought of the Ted Bundy tapes if you watched it. Subscribe to the channel, share to your friends, and kind of see what you think of the idea of a live stream. Is that something that you guys would participate in? We obviously don't want to do it if we're twiddling our thumbs and there's nobody there. There's like 2 other people, so we're not going to do it if there's not interest in it. But if that's something that you would be interested in, just a Sunday night recap, especially whenever Game of Thrones starts coming around, and just kind of doing a live stream, talking with you guys and getting your thoughts on what happened and reactions and all that kind of stuff. Send us any links that you think we may enjoy, and also any recommendations for Netflix shows, Hulu shows, even shows on cable TV. We'll watch them all and kind of go through a different one every week. So until next week, you guys take it easy. We'll see you soon. Deuce.